Yeah, we've had some great music artists on our platform. But I think the duo that I'm joined with today, they have literally been a pop culture reset, I think, in the film industry. I mean, I'm a 90s kid at heart, and obviously, I mean, 90s kid actually as well, but uh, I've grown up listening to Jatin Lalit, and the fact that when I think of anyone in today's day and age who can really create that same sort of vibe of romance, of youthfulness. I think it really is Vishal and Sheykhar. I'm Fall in Love the musical, and I'm so excited to have you both with us. So thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations. And I'm really excited to have this conversation with you guys.
Thank you. Thank you. It's good to be here.
Right. Okay, look, as I mentioned in my intro, DDLJ, right? I mean, it needs no introduction, right? It is literally, I think, an integral part of our existence as Indians. Um, the songs are such a big legacy, and I think 30 years down the line, there's still that sense of refreshing sort of emotions that we have. For the musical, though, it's completely different. It's a completely, you're sort of giving fresh music, you're kind of setting it around the actual story that's there. What would you say have been the biggest challenges for you both actually in bringing this freshness to something which is kind of familiar but yet different at the same time?
Well, the thing is, both of us are huge fans of the original. Um, and I don't think that it needs a rejig in terms of freshness because that music still sounds fresh. The film still feels fresh. The emotions feel fresh. But this is a different context. This is an English show. So it's derived from the film, sure, but it's an English show, a musical piece for theater. So yes, of course, we're trying to, we're bringing our vibe to it, and I think that's what Adi wanted on it. But it's all new songs, and they're all in English. And the idea is to join cultures together this time, not just families. The idea is to appeal to all the South Asians who have loved DDLJ for 30 years, and also to everyone who may never have seen or heard of DDLJ as well. The idea is that when you come into the theater, you hear something, you see something that touches you, moves you, and that leaves you with a whole new bunch of memories, a whole new sort of maybe a whole new generation or generations of people who find their way of expressing love through this, like we did with DDLJ. You know.
Right. So what I was gonna say is like you said, Vishal, it really is celebrating cultures. It also is unifying everyone in quite a literal sense. Um, I think obviously the cast is incredible. I mean,
Yeah.
from what we've seen about the cast, I love the fact that a lot of them obviously are from Britain. They're British Asians, and I think the fact that they're in it, it's really incredible. So I think Shekhar, for you, how does the sensibility of that milieu also then impact the rhythm of the music that you create, and and how do you kind of also maintain that sense of Indianness as well, when you're kind of having something which is a fusion at the same time.
So okay, so everything starts from the book. So the book has been written, Come Fall in Love book has been written by Nell Benjamin. It's an adaptation of the film DDLJ. So every single scene which goes into a song, and now there are 18 songs. In the original DDLJ, we had about 6 songs. Here we have 18 new songs altogether. So
Mm.
for these 18 new songs, finding the right kind of vibe for the sound, for the place where it comes in, and exactly the way it did. We've done this about 4 years ago when we started this entire process, when Adi asked us to be a part of Come Fall in Love. So on 2020 over Zoom calls, we made the music of Come Fall in Love. That was amazing. It was absolutely crazy in the middle of the pandemic, and we're just reading the script, and we're really very happy that we've been offered, Come Fall in Love, and it's going to be directed by the Aditya Chopra. So, it was such joy to kind of start the process of that, and then and we kept on making songs like the way we make our film songs, nothing different, but yes, keeping in mind, because both Vishal and I both love West End theater, we love Broadway, we love that style, and we know that whole style, and we know exactly that every single dialogue becomes musical, and there's a certain emotion to it, and then you compose that song accordingly. But the Vishal and Shekhar, style of music still plays a very, very important role in the way we've put these songs together, and the magic of Nell Benjamin's lyrics. So we have some really, really good songs which have come together for this. After that, we went to San Diego and we did we did a run for a month and a half, and the reaction we got out there was so amazing. Yeah, and everyone loved the song. Everyone loved the vibe of the whole show coming together. So yes, designing the music was exactly for us making music for a film. Giving it that kind of vibe for that emotion which is required for the scene.
Right. Yeah. Vishal, you were going to say something?
No.
Oh, okay.
The thing is, it's three films. Because it's 18 songs, so it's the equivalent of three films. And with a musical, there's a constant evolution, which is really lovely. The process of building this has been such a learning experience. It's also showed us different facets of how music communicates, because you get to watch it happen live. Normally we just record songs, we send them to the director, they go out, they shoot them, they bring them back, we see them, cheers, that's it. But this time we're involved all the way, and then you have previews where the audience is in the theater and watching the song, and sometimes you feel like, maybe this is a little too slow, or that's a little too long, or this is a little too fast, or whatever. So you adjust it, taking the audience's feedback, even though they don't know they're providing you that feedback, or but you're absorbing it all, and they are as much part of the evolution of the music as we are. So that's a magical thing for us.
The beautiful thing is this is such an inclusive process that every single person in the room, right? Every single person, we have a 45, 50 of us in the room. Whenever anyone feels very strongly about this line could be slightly longer, or maybe Simran can, say this line after that, and on the fly, Vishal and Shekhar compose something out there. Nell comes and writes another line. Everything is done on the fly. So someone asked us about 10 minutes ago that is it locked? Is the music locked? The music can never be locked of of Come Fall in Love. It's just growing. Every day there's something new happening, a new harmony happening, a new a new idea coming about. A couple of months ago, we just thought of writing another song, and then Adi loved it so much that he incorporated it. And right now, till we get to the theater, we're going to go and watch it there and see how we feel. We might want to change something. We might want to say. So everything is absolutely
alive,
and at the same time, everyone's a part of it, which is beautiful.
But I mean, I do want to say so that when we're talking about changes, I think we can't discuss Come Fall in Love and not discuss how much of a change it is from DDLJ. So DDLJ was a lovely romantic film 30 years ago. And of course, it's still fresh. It still retains its relevance. It was a watershed mark in the story of romance in India, right? There's no one can question that. Now, this film, this show, the character Simran. So I think for Shekhar and me, she's the change in Simran is what's really beautiful.
Yeah.
So he's got I've got two nieces. We see and love the way modern womanhood has evolved into a place where every woman stands on her own, has her own agency, makes her own decisions, doesn't is not a subject as much as the captain of her own ship. So Simran is like that. Simran in this show be someone who takes charge of her own destiny, make her own decisions based on her intellect, rather than what her father is telling her to do or what her boyfriend is telling her to do. Yes, of course, all of that is there. She values family, she values tradition, she values love deeply, and all of these are instrumental in making the decision, but it's her decision. All the decisions are hers. For me, that's my favorite part of this show. And that's the most evident and beautiful thing in this character. I think basically the thing is, okay, the way I see it, 30 years ago, Adi was just a boy making the film. He was 23. He is now a man lived a life. Similarly, the characters have lived like depth, and all of that is what we get to say with the music. It's beautiful.
Right. A background conversation, but I think it's an interesting observation that I even also made that a lot of Aditya Chopra movies, for me, like including DDLJ, right? If we think about it, the actual context of it is quite dark. It's quite dark in the sense where obviously a girl is being forced to go for an arranged marriage, essentially, but then she ends up like but then obviously thankfully positivity comes in, the overall messaging of love and living your life and hope sort of kind of overpowers that. And I think in all of Aditya Chopra's movies, there's always been this dark context, but the way he's really shaped them and, always had a very happy ending to really and give that hope, I think has been a very interesting thing. And I think this also relates to you guys and the sort of compositions you do. And I think your association with YRF, I think what, 20 years this year? Because I think Salam Namaste was like your first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Salam Namaste that was the first film, yeah. Salam Namaste.
And
Wow.
in
That-
right. So I'm going to ask about the 20 years in just a bit, but I want to ask about this idea of hope because honestly, Vishal-Shekhar does not just have this youthful and really upbeat kind of music, which I mentioned in my introduction. It's a lot more than that. You offer a sense of ummeed and a sense of spirituality, I think, in all your music, be it Aas Paas Khuda, be it in Tararam Pam, the Shreya Ghoshal version. Even I would say in a song like even in a song like Tu Jahan, which is supposed to be a heartbreak song, but it's that sense of comfort whilst separation is happening. I would love to know this idea of hope and spirituality. What would you say has been the source of that in your lives, and how would you say that's evolved through your music over the years up till now?
I think the way I think every musician's life there is every single moment in our lives um, are kind of influenced by what's happening around us. Um, what we've gained, what we've lost, how we see life, how we feel about it. And I think, as we discussed about Aditya Chopra 30 years back, he was 23-year-old boy. Vishal and I, about 25 years back, and our journey of 25 years has also evolved us as human beings, as how we see life. And I think that comes a lot in our music. How we feel about a certain situation, how we feel about that same emotion which is required in the film, but how we kind of take it, how we kind of give it a positive spin to it.
Hmm.
There's always a ray of light. There's always hope. There's always a beautiful, light out there which is going to make sure that you're okay, you're fine. You know what I'm saying? And then we try to put that through music in our songs. We try to kind of, really help us and help people through our music to kind of there's so many songs. Allah Ke Bande with Vishal wrote.
Oh, yeah.
And Tu Aashiki Hai again with Vishal wrote. And there are so many beautiful songs. Even now, even after now 25 years, people still come to us and they're like, this song changed our lives. This
Oh.
song changed our lives. And this song kept us going, or this song. There's always so much of love from people. I remember a few concerts where Vishal and I, in the middle of our set, we just decided to sing Allah Ke Bande or Tu Aashiki Hai, and then people are tearing up out there. People are crying. We are crying on stage.
Oh.
So I think we're just blessed. We're just blessed to have music in our lives, and we are blessed that people have uh, found a strong connection with Vishal and Shekhar's music.
Hmm.
I mean, this is what music is, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, in a world that's getting increasingly sharper at the edges and darker, music is the light that you walk towards, right? This is, I mean, it's what brings us all together. When a note has no, a note that strikes your ear doesn't know what your religion is, it doesn't know what your country is, it doesn't know what your name is. You don't know where that came from. It's just magic. It's in the air. It's ether. Music is hope. Art is hope. It's at the end of the day, it's all about joining people. It's all about bringing people together, and that pretty much is what we're really hoping to do with Come Fall in Love as well. It's exactly the message of the film, DDLJ. It's exactly the message of the show, Come Fall in Love. And it's exactly something that we believe in very strongly. And what is, I think it resonates through all the music that we've made. And I just hope that people feel it. I mean, we have received so much love and we have all of that love to return to the world. So that's where the music comes from.
Incredible. And it's just today, actually, just today morning, I was listening to Data Tu, I was listening to Tera Noor, I was listening to even Bullea, right? So I think it's just, honestly, I really cannot stop gushing over because honestly, these songs have such a huge impact. And I'm sure that this effect will happen with the musical as well. I have no doubt about that. But look, I think when you began your journey in Salam Namaste, right? Aditya Chopra sir was there. You had Yashji that was there as well, right? And um, for me, Yash Chopra has been a luminary when it comes to our cinema. He has taught the message of love. He's taught the message of his films are have been very progressive, but even now when you watch them, they still resonate so strongly today. I think if you look back at the sort of composers I know you kind of touched upon it briefly, but it would be nice to tap into that whole Yash Chopra, Aditya Chopra experience back then to now. What would you say that sort of sensibilities have they evolved like from Adisa from when he was when you were there from Salam Namaste to now? What would you say has been that evolvement in terms of sensibilities, if at all?
I think Adi from the day. So first of all, I have to tell you, my wife is a huge fan of Mr. Yash Chopra.
Uh,
Huge, massive, massive,
I think all of us.
all of us,
Yeah.
all of us, yeah. And when I told her that Vishal and I got a call and we're going to their Juhu office, so we drove all the way from town to their office, and then we met Mr. Aditya Chopra for the first time. And well, the thing is, uh, what Yash Raj has done and what Yash Ji and Adi they've done is they've been progressive. They've been making some really, let's put it, risky films in those times, really risky, right? And at the same time, they've kind of the stories and the music and very classy, I would say, very, very classy compared to all the other kind of films which were being made back in those days, right?
of course, yeah.
Style, emotion, dialogues, everything was very rich, very, very rich. And we see that very strong, beautiful quality in Adi, to kind of really believe in the technician you're working with and making them feel comfortable. I think Adi has been doing that beautifully since then, with everything. We've seen him working with other people, the way he works with us. He just gets the best out of you. He just knows and he believes. And that kind of really excites every single technician. That excites us as composers, creators, to do our best for Yash Raj Films.
I feel like we have been fortunate to meet and spend that time with Yashji and to see how he reacted to music when we were doing Salam Namaste and Tara Rampam. There was a tradition where Yashji and Pam Auntie would sit in a room in the studio, listen to all the songs, and rate them on a piece of paper and tell us what they liked or didn't like about any of the songs. Right? They'd score each of the songs, and then they'd sign the sheet at the bottom. And those, I think, are priceless pieces of our lives that we have. Those sheets given to us by them, telling us, and there was never once a negative comment. It was always, this is very good, and this is even better, and this is excellent, and this is, and they were just kind people who had big hearts and shared those with us. So we're very grateful for that. But I also feel that one of the things that's been most inspirational about YRF, about Yashji, about Adi, is that these are people who defined their times. Whether it be Kala Patthar or Diwar, or whether it be DDLJ, these are things that set the tone for things to come forever and ever. They define how movies are made, how stories are told, how characters are fleshed out on screen, and how lyrics are written, how songs are used. All of that, these films are benchmarks in the history of Indian cinema.
Of course.
Um, Similarly, Shekhar and I have always tried very hard to sort of, in a sense, very much inspired by people like Yashji and Adi. We've always tried to create new forms. So be it, when we did Right Here, Right Now with Abhishek, no one had done music like that before. Or when we did Nashe Si Chal Gayi for Befikre, these are forms that were not there before. It was the first time that was happening in Hindi films. Similarly, I mean, we basically the attempt is always to find newness and to tell your story in a new way, and but without losing the soul of the ability to connect. And I think that's hopefully something that's going to carry through, because this is a big one for all of us in terms of nobody's ever done this before. Come Fall in Love, the a musical theater version of the biggest Indian film of all time, literally. It's a massive deal, and again, something that will move the needle culturally speaking. If this one goes well, then maybe it will keep happening. Maybe there's a crossover that can, what's the word I'm looking for? Energy that can keep sort of being transferred between the two spheres, musical theater and Indian cinema. Because they are very similar in many ways. So it's exciting. It's exciting to be at the cusp of something like that. And maybe once this thing opens, we're looking at a whole new world.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned the whole new world, because honestly, nostalgia we've seen has been a really huge sellable factor in the film industry right now. I think it's also kind of, yeah, it's also offering a sense of comfort, I think, because people are in such harsh times at the moment. It's giving them a sense of comfort of a time that made them really happy. Um, I think when we look at theatre, I think if there's any one show that kind of gives that similar sense of nostalgia. Hello? Hiya, can you hear me?
We're right here.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
Oh, it's gone.
can you hear me now?
So you basically you're going into still frame and silence, and then coming back and just saying, "Can you hear me?" So that,
Anuj, keep talking. We'll tell you when we can't hear you.
Okay, fine. Okay, so in theatre, if there is anything that kind of offers nostalgia, like to how the films are right now, for me, it's Mamma Mia. Right? Because it offers like sort of songs from ABBA. It kind of has that sense of a kind of new storyline, right? An original storyline, but obviously with established songs. Whether I think "Come Fall in Love" ka ulta hai, in a way. And I think it's really interesting how we don't actually have something of this nature in the Indian sort of milieu. So in terms of freshness and something new, like you said, Vishal, uh, how would you define that newness, and how do you think this can be a legacy that we can carry over, especially into the theater space? Because theater really is, it's gone through the most turbulent experience during the COVID time, right?
yeah. So, but I will say this. I mean, for whatever it's worth, we are very aware of the value of nostalgia. We're very aware that this show comes with the love that DDLJ has gathered for 30 years. So a lot of people are going to come to see it for that, and we have how does one put it? Let's just say there is enough of the magic of DDLJ in there to make you scream in the theater. Similarly, there's also enough newness and
Yeah.
modernity to make you feel like, oh, this is my show. It's talking about my life and my love story, you know. And like there's a lot in it for everybody. There's a lot in it for people, for example, who miss home. People from South Asia who miss the warmth, the taste, the texture, the sounds, the color of home. There's a lot of that in there. The character of Baldev carries his home very deeply in his heart,
Yeah.
and, and that transmits, I believe. I think we've tried very hard to get it right, and to sort of what we saw in San Diego when we played it out the first time is we saw people who had never even seen or heard of the places in India that we were talking about. They had tears in their eyes, and the first we were obviously we were there. So when they came out of the theater, they'd come up to us and they'd go, we really have to go to India now. We have to go to India because we've seen this and now we've felt it. Now we need to be there. So there's something for everybody in this show. There's a lot for people who love DDLJ. There's a lot for people who've never seen DDLJ. There's a lot for people who appreciate the tradition of it. There's a lot for people who would like to see those characters evolve into characters of 2025. So there's all of that. It's actually quite a magical enterprise. And I just hope that we get the love and support that the film has, and fingers crossed.
Oh, amazing. Well, I hope so, and I definitely can't wait to watch it. And I'm just so excited. I really am so excited.
Anuj, the thing is, I think all of us, we love DDLJ and we've seen DDLJ so many times, multiple times. Right?
Yeah.
Watching the film in the theater and watching the same DDLJ on stage, and you see what happens on stage and the energy you see when there are 40, 50 people on stage creating that kind of energy with live music, it's a different feeling altogether.
Oh my God.
So yes, with that nostalgia, and it's a new show. Come Fall in Love is a new show altogether. It's a completely new show with the soul of Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge, directed by Aditya Chopra. So it's got the new Aditya Chopra making this fresh new show altogether with us doing our best, and I hope you guys love it.
You know what? Honestly, when the announcement came out and I saw you guys were doing the music, I was like, done here. Yeah, cha hone wala. I just knew from the onset. I was like, this is perfect. Like, this is honestly so perfect because no one can really. I honestly say this, and I say this from a very genuine space with a lot of love to all the composers out there and music producers out there because we have some great, great talents in our industry. But you guys really know how to really bring that essence out. And I'm so glad that Adisa is back on the director's seat and you guys are taking this forward. I'm genuinely so excited. I cannot tell you enough.
Wish us
Thank
well,
you.
and we can't wait to see you at the theater.
Please come, please come.
You got to go over to Manchester, man.
I
Yeah.
will. Oh, definitely. I'm on the phone with my YRF friends actually to make sure that because I'm super excited to make that happen. But look, before you guys go,
Can't wait to see you there.
no, definitely, likewise, man, for sure. But before you guys go, look, it would be really wonderful if we could get, I think, a flavor of the "Come Fall in Love." Are you not? Are you not allowed?
Oh, for the title track, of course.
Yeah.
Come fall in love. Come fall in love. Come fall in love. La 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 love. La 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 love. There we go.
There we go. Right, wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Vishal, and thank you so much, Shekhar, and congratulations on such a wonderful musical. And I cannot wait to check it out. Thank you.
Thank you.
He's here with a gun saying, "Get to work."
Thank you.
All right.